Right, welcome to this learning resource on task analysis. What I want to do with this video is present to you a method for how you can analyze a task that you've been asked to perform at university, a writing task that you've been asked to perform. So you get given a task. I want to show you a method of analysis for analyzing that task and working out a plan for how you can execute that task, how you can pull it off. Okay, so this video consists in 3 steps. In the first part, I disclose what I think the purpose of task analysis is, and then I show you how one undertakes a task analysis, and then I close by recapping on what I've said. Okay, so the point of task analysis is to divide a big writing task into smaller, more focused tasks. So it breaks the overall task up into smaller sections, right? And then you can tick off one section at a time. So in other words, when you undertake a task analysis, you create a set of criteria that you need to meet. In other words, you create a checklist. So you create a checklist of these are the things I need to do to write this essay successfully, to successfully answer the question, successfully pull off the task. And when you use this method of creating a checklist for things you need to do, it enables you to really thoroughly answer the question or perform the writing task, because you cover all the sections that you need to cover, because you've worked out very explicitly what these different sections or components are. So let's have a look at an example. This is an essay question for first year students in economic history. So the question reads, the Great Divergence, so that's a capital G, capital D, so it's a proper noun, so this is some phenomena. The Great Divergence happened because European culture was more inventive and innovative than anywhere else in the world. Now you can see that first sentence is in quotes, so that's obviously something that someone has said. It's a statement, and then it reads, do you agree or disagree, why or why not? So the core thing you need to be doing is saying whether or not you agree with that statement, and then proffering reasons for why you affirm or deny that statement, that proposition. So the main thing you need to be doing is saying whether you agree with the statement or not, and why. Okay, so check this out. When you read your question, you want to highlight or underline what the core parts of the question are that you need to focus on. So Great Divergence is obviously important, right? You're going to have to say what the Great Divergence is, who called it that, and tell the reader a bit about that so they know what's going on. Okay. Then clearly someone has claimed that European culture was more inventive and innovative than elsewhere in the world, and that motivates for why the Great Divergence happened. So you're going to have to find out who claimed that European culture was more inventive and innovative, what their reasons were, and what was happening elsewhere in the world in terms of inventiveness and innovation as relevant to a divergence. And then you're going to use that information to say whether or not you agree with the statement that the Great Divergence happened because European culture was more inventive and or innovative than elsewhere in the world. And then you're going to be able to argue why or why not this happened. So you see what I've done. I've just looked at the question and I've underlined and highlighted what are sort of like core points that I'm going to have to speak to in pulling off this task. So the first time we read it was just a question, and we thought, okay, well, do we agree with it or not? Now we've homed in on different parts of this task, and we have different little sections. So check this out. So we've got the Great Divergence, right? We've got European culture, the claim that European culture is more inventive and or innovative than elsewhere in the world. We asked whether or not we agree with this statement, and then we're asked to provide reasons as to why we agree or disagree with the statement. So we're going to have to define Great Divergence, right? We're going to have to offer a definition of Great Divergence, what it is, maybe some features or characteristics of a Great Divergence. This is a history class, so probably when it is said to have happened. The claim that European culture was more inventive and innovative, who claimed that, why did they claim that, And then if we want to see that if the claim is that European culture was more inventive and innovative than elsewhere in the world, then we're going to have to do some sort of comparison with other innovation or inventiveness elsewhere in the world at the same time, right? And so the crux of what we're doing is we are taking a position on this question of whether European culture was more inventive and that therefore this caused a great divergence to happen in economic development. And so the crux of it is really whether or not we agree with the statement. So in unpacking the claim that European culture was more inventive than elsewhere, and this leading to the great divergence, we are going to, in doing that, we're going to make our case for whether we agree or disagree with the statement. And so when we offer our reasons as to why or why not, that's when we're going to be defending our view. Okay, so you take the question, you break it up into little sections, and then you work out instructions. So those on the right there, those are the things that we need to do to thoroughly answer this question. So this is our checklist. We're going to define great divergence, we're going to say who claimed it and why, we're going to discuss and compare European innovation with innovation elsewhere in the world, and then we're going to motivate our agreement or disagreement, and we're going to defend our view. So those last 2 points, motivate, agreement or disagreement, and defend your view, kind of combined sort of into one. So there's really 4 to 5 main things that we need to do in this essay. So we went from one big question to a set of 5 smaller tasks that we need to do in order to answer this question thoroughly. So break the big task into small tasks, create a checklist, and then this enables you to evaluate your own work. So check. If you want to work out have I thoroughly answered the question, go back to your checklist and say, can I in good faith tick off all of these items on the checklist and say that I've dealt with them. Okay, so break up the task, make a checklist, and work through your checklist. Alright, thanks for watching and good luck. Also note that this task analysis method can be applied to almost any task that you get at university. It's all about, the main idea is take a big task, break it up into smaller components. Good luck.